said, let me find it.
Mm.
And let me tell you, um, my mother moved to Florida.
Mm.
Want to be closer to you?
And yes, she
Okay.
visited me. And I think literally they saw that she moved to Florida. And then they sent me to Pennsylvania.
Oh my gosh, so them spite you.
Yes, they sent me to Pennsylvania. And I said, but this can't be real. And then I kept the same narrative. I don't know if I was tricking myself, but I said, I'm in Pennsylvania.
For a
God sent me
reason.
to meet people. And let me
So
tell you
true.
something. I walk into this prison in Pennsylvania. This is
Mhm.
significant.
Mhm.
And the minute you get there, you realize there's Jamaicans, there's Americans, and there's Mexicans. So
Mhm.
Mexicans represent everything Spanish. So it
Spanish,
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Mhm.
That's,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
the breakdown. So if you're even speaking French, as far as I'm concerned, you're
Yeah,
speaking Spanish.
Mexican.
Russian Spanish. So
Mm.
that's it. Jamaican, English, Spanish. That's how I broke it down. But then there was this older Jamaican there, and I can tell you, I always had a smart mouth. Like I just don't understand. I still have that problem today. But
Oh, understand yourself, they would say.
yeah, they like to say that. But I'm much older now and I understand myself. But until you start to say things and you realize you get beat up in the media for it, you realize you still have the same.
Because
Yeah,
you have to be
temper.
mindful. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be mindful. Emotional intelligence, they call it. But I'm seeing the Jamaicans, and I think I was saying it in my mind, but I was like, why all of these people look so dirty? That's my
You,
first day.
they
First
beat you
day.
up.
You feel me?
They beat you up.
No, because let me tell you why I say that I know that God exists. There was a older person. This man had to be about 65 or 66. His name was Victor Blight. He was my grandfather's best friend.
Okay.
Before
Wow.
my grandfather died, and he heard my name, and he says, "You're a big youth picnic. You're
Mhm.
John's son. James is my best friend." And before he died, and then he says to me, "Let me tell you something. Your grandfather rich, you know. Him have property here and there, so you better stay alive so you can go and go collect all of them." He said
Mm.
stuff like that to me, and I was like, "Wow!" But it was then a real. That's the first. Is when I got to prison, I realized how big my father was in the world because
Mm-hmm.
he was
Mhm.
just daddy. But everybody knew him, and
Mm.
so because of that, nobody would bring harm to me. So clearly, he was living right.
Okay.
Right.
Like my mother, nobody, because they said your mother did this work, your grandfather did this work, your father. Oh my God! And
And
so
like as you mentioned, like you were sent to that facility for a reason.
for a
And
reason, and
exactly.
I listen, I was nurtured by
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Blight in terms of like they wanted to put me in the kitchen, and he says, "No, you're bright. You need to go to the education department. You need to
Exactly.
teach."
Ah.
And he says it to he's at the prison a long time. So when he says it to the official says, "Oh, so what were you doing before you came to, you know?" And I said, "I was at the university." It's like, "Okay, go." And then I end
Perfect.
up getting over 78 Jamaicans their GED
Wow.
Oh wow.
See?
Congrats
while I
on
was
that.
there. And then
See?
I started to do the law.
So that was your purpose.
Yes, but I didn't know it was my purpose because
Mm-hmm.
I never got myself out of prison. So I'm helping other people.
But you
And
can't get yourself.
their names are being called over the intercom,
Yeah.
but my name never gets called. I was like, no, this can't be for real. Until I think it was 2 years before I was to come home, my matter is finally going to be heard on a substantive point, a change in the law
Okay.
about the use of foreign convictions. And because they didn't want it to be heard, they did the same thing they did when my mother moved to Florida. They
Move you
moved it to
again.
a jurisdiction. So I
Oh
had to
wow.
start
So after
over.
8 years,
Yeah, after 6 years, 6 years,
6 years. Oh, you
six
did two in
years.
Florida. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I went to, I, another institution. And same process. By the time they were to decide on the point, I was sent home,
Release.
or as people say, deported.
Deported. Right. So
Ah,
as you mentioned that, right? Because here in Jamaica, there's like a huge stigma in as it relates to being
deportee.
deported.
Mhm.
So how did you deal with such a situation upon return?
Um, to be honest with you, I just didn't talk to anybody that I knew before I went to jail.
Oh, so you
Nobody.
cut off everybody. Snip, snip.
I did
Fair
it
enough.
before people come, because Jamaica is a Jamaican people are the strangest set of interesting human beings, because
Nicely put.
they have to be one up on the next person.
Yeah, exactly.
Humility is limited, and they are fine. I could be the poorest person, but you went to jail, so I'm better than you, and I'm fine in life.
It's all the competition. I don't know why, but
Yeah. So I figured that out, and the minute I'm having a conversation and you need to have me explain and report to you what really happened,
mhm,
I was going to live in that eternal bliss of constantly explaining myself.
Every
okay.
day getting battered and bruised about something that you've lived through
Yeah,
and moving on from.
I had I'd gone past it, and then the interactions was this. I would go into spaces, do exceptionally well, and people who I know would find it necessary to say
Mention.
to your boss or to somebody, "Hey, it's a deportee that he went to jail for so and so and so
And
and
then the
so."
They were
stigma is there.
intimidated, you know?
And they
Intimidated
even
by the
have the
present.
newspaper articles. So I said, you know what? Here's what. Let me just not talk to these people. Let me leave these people alone, and let me, more than anything, any space I go into, I say, hello, my name is Isat Buchanan. I'm a convict. I was deported on this day, and these are my plans, and this is what I hope to achieve.
So
It's kind of
you
ironic.
use your transgression, you use that title as something to push you forward. Like, this is
No,
me,
because
take it or leave it.
once you say that, they have nothing else to say about you. They have
No,
nothing else
they
bad
have
to
Exactly.
say
nothing
about you.
else.
Yeah.
Even now, even today, as you speak
Hmm.
about ISAT, that's my only. If you say it's advice, I don't consider it advice, but that's the only thing you can say about me,
As it's a
because
part of your journey. Yeah.
right. So, but it is a part, and I own it. But um, I came back, and as I said, my father is my hero. I started to do music. I learned to play I was playing the piano before, but I learned to play the guitar while I was locked up,
Mhm.
and so many other skills that I acquired.
Mhm.
And I was doing the music, did an album, came back with my six pack and everything, and
Yeah.
shoot, and I'm ready, and
And being a female now, sorry.
it's fine. The next thing I know, I'm ready to put this album out, but my aunt says to me, let's go bless it. There's a Baba, he's from Africa and he's doing his tour. He's in Jamaica. I said, okay, take my CD to the Baba. I said, bless this CD because I'm gonna be a big star. And he has these 5 rocks,
Mhm.
his ritual. And he drops the rocks on the CD, and they went pew, 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 all over. Like, he didn't even drop it from, he was like right there, like
Yeah.
when you play marbles.
Mm-hmm.
They went so far, so he didn't even have to tell me what that mean. I know something all right. And he says to me, you have a brother? I say, yeah. He says, well, you are Tito and he's Michael.
Okay.
About that mash up my life and my meds. I leave. I tell him he's a fraud. He said, no, hold on.
Killing
I'm
your
not
dream.
saying you're not gonna do well at music. I'm
Mhm.
saying to you, your destiny is that
Something
you're going
else.
to be an attorney.
Okay.
You are
Oh.
going to look about your brother's wealth as he does the music. And he's
Okay.
explaining that this is your calling. And I say, you're a little fraud. How am I gonna be a lawyer when I'm a convict and a deported?
Exactly.
I beat up myself.
Hmm.
And he
Mm.
said, anything is possible.
Trust the
Just
process.
remember that is your calling.
Yep. Trust
Says
the
you
process.
ask me to tell you, and I tell you. And let me tell you something, man. Not even a year later, I am at the place that I live. I'm the landlord there, and there's a tenant who decides that she wants to pay the rent in back road money. That's the best way I can explain it. And I said, no, I want my money. She calls the police and say, oh, help. I'm standing there asking for the money. And she calls the police, help, help, this deportee boy. She him coming in my house trying to rape me. And
Oh,
I need the police.
and
And the police
automatically,
came.
yeah,
Yeah, the police came and said, yeah, we know the deportee live here. And
deportees.
they came for me. They almost
Oh
they,
wow.
they came for me in the blue suits and dropped me on the floor, mash up my back
Oh
and carry me
wow.
to Conson Spring. And I was, let me tell you this, I was so shocked. I was in handcuffs again.
Oh wow again.
If ever there was a thing called post-traumatic stress
Just yes,
syndrome,
so true.
I
They do have
experienced it.
it.
Well, no, I experienced it because I thought I was gonna die. I couldn't believe I had handcuffs on me.
And for
I
something,
have,
like something of you just wanting your rent, and someone
yeah,
just using your
yeah.
pass, yeah.
So I said I have no voice. I have no
Hmm.
place in this society. Nothing. And I go to court and I'm talking to the judge because I didn't have a lawyer. It's a petty offense, whatever. There's charging me for trespassing, which was making no sense. So I'm addressing the judge, and the judge says to me, "Boy," it was Judge Pusey though. She said, "The way how you come talk up in here, no man, you need to go on a law school. You're a lawyer, man."
See that?
She didn't
See
know
that?
anything about me.
All
Hmm.
And I
right.
said, that is the message. There was a lawyer
Actually, you don't
there.
need any more than that.
Right, exactly. There was a lawyer who doesn't really practice in that court, but he says, you hear what the judge said?
Hmm.
Here's my card. Come to my office. And I find myself working at a law firm.
As
And
an
that's
apprentice or something like that.
Yeah.
or a
And I go
paralegal.
there and he says, you know
Okay.
anything about law? I said, not really. He says, all right, there's the file. Claim forms in the file. Go do some claim forms. I say, but how you do it? You say, you know law, you will figure it out. So I
Learn on
Googled.
the way.
You Google. Google
Google.
is the
I
best
Google.
friend.
Google fix everything.
Yes.
And the rest was in my brain and I got it right.
Hmm.
I'm working there for a year and he says, no man, you're doing a really good job. I'm gonna sign you up for UA. I said, you sure? He said, yeah. He said, you ever go UA? I said, yeah, because he never asked about my um
Convictions before.
resume and stuff. No, resume and stuff like that. No, I
Okay, just
declared it.
took you on. Okay.
So he just took me on, and I guess he took me on and is a deportee that's working for him, but it
Hmm.
wasn't any conversation about your academic progress or anything like that.
Okay.
So I says, well, if you say you go UA, that means they will accept you. And he filled out the form.
Mm.
I gave the information and he puts everything into the computer and he says, yeah, I sent the application off.
Mm.
2 months later,
They get
big letter
accepted.
come, congratulations, you're accepted to the law at the Faculty of Law, Mona.
Hmm.
I could not believe it. I bring home where everybody thinks this letter must be some fraud. And
It's like a,
I get in all the prayers and calm down because don't whatever. And listen, I was working, saving, all of that, getting there. And it's not until first year when my grades come out. Let me tell you something. I got straight A's.
Nice.
wow.
Nice.
And that's when everybody said, but hold on, you're bright.
It's real. It is real.
Yeah. And my father never looked back then. When he
Yeah.
said I'm bright, he was like, you know what? Every time the school fee come, he paid it. He paid it.
Mm.
Like,
Paid it. And right up until I graduate with first class honors.
Excellent.
Went to law school. While I'm at law school, the first hiccup I had is when they saw that I was finishing, one lady from Trinidad, I never forget it. She was she's teaching and she just started, it was about ethics and she's talking about one particular student who wasted $5 million to do law because they have a conviction and they'll never be called to the bar.